All right, YouTube, we are live. How is everybody doing? This is Tacoma Comics, and I'm coming at you on a Friday afternoon, slightly sunny, slightly overcast in lovely Tacoma, Washington. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a week. Not this past week, but week before, I must have done about 6 videos. I was jumping on people's live streams, talking, chatting here and there, watching stuff. I've done like no YouTube this week, and that's because it's been busy. Monday, I woke up at 5:30 for the first time since a long time, since June. Went to school, messed around in my classroom. Tuesday, I got up. I took a class all day, 8 hours, learning about drones, which is really cool. I got to fly drones. I got to learn about getting my drone pilot license. We have a drone program at one of the high schools taught by an a veteran pilot. She's really cool. So she gave us all this stuff. But we had to learn like things called METARs and TAFs, which is meteorological data. It's just crazy, crazy stuff. That was cool. Then I had another conference Wednesday, again, up early. And Tuesday, I was presenting the conference. So Tuesday night, I was like up till 2 a.m. getting my presentation ready because my boss, my assistant boss, and my other boss were all going to be there. So I had to be on point. And then I was up late Wednesday night because yesterday I had another presentation. This time I was teaching a class 8 hours straight. But it's all my peers, like the other 5 guys who teach what I teach at the other 5 middle schools. And so, hey, Sleepy Reader, how you doing? So there's a little bit of an old boys club, and I don't mean that in like a gender way. Just like they know each other, so they all think they can take the piss out of me, which, I'd take the piss out of them if they are presenting, but it's hard to keep on track. And there are some other people not from that group there. Hey, comics, CFAP, I believe is what they're calling you nowadays. So I had to just, basically 8 hours straight yesterday. Came home with the kids, had dinner, took them out to a place to play Dungeons and Dragons. The place said, come on Thursday, we should have a game. There was one game there. The guy's like, oh, I'm kind of new at DMing. I don't have any space for any more people. I already have a table of 6. And I'm like, well, they told us to be here. So then the guy said, well, you can use the back tables, the back room. So I put my kids in the back room with their 2 friends and their 2 friends' friend. Me and the other father went next door, had a drink, had a second drink, went across the street, had a third drink, came back and got the kids and went home. So it was all pretty cool. Steve and Spock, SNS is here. How you doing, my friend? I think I got it right. Right? Yeah. You probably see that backwards on yours. You probably see the thumbs and then the thing if it's reversed. I don't know. So I'm just freaking exhausted because I was like up early, teaching on point. We slept until about 9 this morning. Dog got me up at 6:30, but then I went to bed. I went back to bed, got up like 9 or 10, went out, went to do errands, brought food back, made breakfast about 12. Don't judge me. Don't judge Tacoma. I don't know when you have breakfast in the rest of the country, but it's summer vacation for me. And then the same 3 boys came over, and now they're having their second D&D session in a row. So I got a little Stranger Things thing going on in the garage, and it's all good. So let's get down to it. AOKs are a funny thing. They should be a surprise to people. They should be an act of kindness. I definitely don't feel like anybody should ever receive an AOK and feel like they have to return one, right? And my idea is that, eventually people will get me back. This one's a little bit different only because Poor Man's Comics and I have been talking about trades. Like we kind of see each other post books. We're like, oh, hey, I like that. Or, oh, how much is that? Oh, I got an extra one. Don't worry, I'll send it to you. But we never get around to doing it. So this is like part AOK / part trade. And I don't mean that in a negative way. That's just, the way it is. So first things first, you can fit one of these Spider-Man booth boxes in a $7 envelope. Right? And these are good cardboard. You have to stretch the envelope a little bit. I have one post office that was like, they wouldn't accept these envelopes if I couldn't close the flap all the way over. But I can see that Poor Man was able to tape it. So you can fit one of these, which are really nice and sturdy and strong, in one of these. And it's kind of cool because I take this one to, I know this is not one of the ones, but I have a couple of these I take to cons and I have Velcro on them and I cut these tabs off so I can just easily open and close. So it's nice to get this one back. Oh, dude, he's the best because the comics are face down, so I don't know what I got yet. Here we go. You ready? First up, I'm going to let you see him before I see him, is Whacked. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what this is. Whacked, The Adventures of Tanya. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, check that out. I don't know if he knows, because I actually been meaning to do a show on this, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I collect like kind of these parody things, so like Alf, A-Team, Saved by the Bell, Welcome Back, Kotter. I like some of these goofy comics in this vein. So this is a nice one to add to the whole collection. I watched that one where the woman, I can't remember her name, who plays CJ Craig on the West Wing, played her mom in like that biopic on Netflix last year. It actually was it was really, really good in terms of how it treated the subject matter. I thought it's interesting watching. It's certainly worth watching. All right, next up, X-Men. Oh, I check it out. I'll bet Sleepy Reader. Yeah, it's got to be hard to be, infamous like that and 20 years later. I've passed, I think this is like a minor key. Is this number one? Yeah, I've passed this up at Half Price Books like 6 or 7 times, and not because I didn't want it. It's because I didn't want to have to like get a run of X-Men, just because once you start collecting, you guys know you're collectors. Once you start collecting, all of a sudden you want every X-Men book. And this is one thing I didn't have any of. So thanks, a poor man. Now I got to start collecting them all. Let's see. So I know there's one. Oh, nice. He asked me if I had this, and I said I did, but I will always take a second cover with Kamala Khan on, because she is one of my favorite, as I'm sure you probably know. This is jam-packed, man. He put books in here. And I only know I only know one of these books for sure is Young Avengers Presents. And then he said there was a book that he knew I was going to love in here. So I don't know if that's a big boy book or just like the Tanya Harding book for fun. Let's see what we got. Oh, Max Ride, number one. Very nice. So alphabetically, this is called James Patterson's Max Ride. First Flight, number one. Very cool. Stephanie Hans cover. Thank you. I'd only say that because in my Stephanie Hans list, I have Max Ride under J, and I had to like redo the PowerPoint to move them all to M because nobody calls it James Patterson. He probably did that when he licensed the property to Marvel. Stop, Tacoma. Just get on with it. Okay, here we go. This is Alex and Ada, number one. Very nice and awesome series. I already have the whole series. Very, very cool. If you have not read this, Jonathan Luna and Sarah Vaughn, or sometimes Jonathan Luna and his brother, they do a bunch of really nice books. They do Eternal Empire, The Sword, The Girls. This, I think, is their best. It's a 15-issue run. Oh, are you serious, Huggably? Send me some. Did you get a big box or just a small package? Damn. Send me some pics and I'll see what I can do to make that right. I'm on a big box. The freaking big boxes are. I go to the post office near school, and I know there's a grumpy old lady there who sometimes chucks those boxes. Even the people who live around school, the locals, they're like, "Oh yeah, don't go to her." So I'm gonna never use that post office again. Shit, man, I'm sorry. I hope there was no big keys in there that got damaged. There's no way. I guess when I pack those, I pack them in and I put a lot of bubble wrap around the top. Maybe I got to put them in the middle and put bubble wrap on both sides. I don't know, man. Hit me up on IG and we'll see what we can do. Here is another awesome book, Tooth and Claw by Kurt Busiek and Benjamin Dewey and Jordi Belair and Comic Craft. All right, thanks for that, Huggly Soft. I appreciate that. I love when some letterers, I don't know if it's like a group of people under one name, but they have it's not their name. It's a group name or company name. Anyway, this is another one I have. This is awesome. Kurt Busiek, apparently got sick and stopped this series. I talked to Benjamin Dewey at a con about it, and he's like, yeah, we might pick it up. I love the first couple issues. Then it got a little weird, but what I really love is called Tooth and Claw. and then they had to change it to Autumn Lands, Tooth and Claw, because Tooth and Claw apparently was already used, and they didn't realize that the first one. So, excuse me. Everything good?
Dice.
Okay. Hey, don't run, please. You guys started the game without dice?
No, I didn't bring my dice.
Oh, okay. They all don't run. They all have their own dice, right? Everybody now has like a container. One of my sons has tons of die. What is this? Dark Reign, the New Avengers, number 49. I am unfamiliar, other than being a cool Philip Tan cover. I am unfamiliar if this is a key in any way, but it is definitely a cool cover. Thank you very much. Pretty awesome. What do we got here? Lego Batman 3. No, that's just the back of it. The kitchen. Oh, dude, this book is. I missed it when it came out, and I definitely wanted to get it. This is being made into a movie or TV series. This is supposed to be really, really hot. Oh man, I'm excited. And Jordi Belair is on the colors. Ming Doyle on the art. Oh, I'm so psyched to read this. So psyched. This is one of those ones. This is like it's a movie. So Once and Future King, right? I'm a big Kieran Gillen fan. You know that from Die. You know that from Wick Div. I get all his Die stuff, multiple copies ahead of time. I just missed the boat on Once and Future King, and so I told myself, okay, that's one I'm just not going to collect. Maybe I'll get the trade. Maybe I'll find it in a back issue bin, but I'm not going to like go for this craziness because it's the first issue is up to 4 printings and they're skyrocketed. This is one in the same boat, right? I was like, all right, I missed it. Whatever, I missed it. I guess, I guess I'll have to hope I get it in an AOK, and I did. So that's pretty darn cool. Let's see. Aggressively Relaxing is here. Robert the Comic Quarter is here. Robert the Comic Book G-Spot. I'm putting names together without reading. Nice, and welcome to you too. We still got about 6 or 7 comics. That's what I'm saying. You can fit because of the way these boxes are constructed, the cardboard's thinner, you can get about 12 comics in here if you use one of these. So next up we have Josh Whedon's Dollhouse number 4. This is a Stephanie Hans cover. Very nice. Very nice. Guardians of the Galaxy comic bug variant. This is a Stephanie Hans cover that I do not have. I am super psyched, not only because I do not have it, but because I do not have it on my list as one of the ones to get. So I get my lists from comicbookdatabase.com, comicbookdb.com. And so I type in Hans and I just go down. They've got like writer, pencilist, colorist, cover artist. And I go down, and that's where I click on every link, and I copied and paste. I made this big Google spreadsheet or Google slideshow. This one is not listed on their database, so I was unaware that this exists. I might have seen this in like an eBay thing, but this is really, really cool. It is a comic bug, which is in Manhattan Beach, so it's a store exclusive variant. It's listed down here as the 8th variant, which means it was either just like a way, a store variant, or incentives, usually a higher number. So I'm super, super psyched for that because I did not know that existed. I like this, man. I like this box a lot. Oh, there it is. This was the one that sparked it all. This is the one that he had some copies listed. And I was like, hey, how much? And he told me a price. And he's like, but you want to trade for it? And I said, yeah. So this was the genesis of the AOK. I sent him some good books and then to trade for this. And then everything else here is just kind of like the AOK part. This was the genesis. This is a freaking fabulous cover, right? Just fabulous, fabulous cover. Who does this artwork? It's all in, oh my gosh, I'd have to open it up. Oh, or look at the top. So, this is Matt Fraction. I did not realize, and Davis does the artwork. I can get Matt Fraction to sign this at Rose City. That's even cooler. Oh my Lord. So I've got all of the Young Avengers, both runs. I've got Young Avengers Children's Crusade, Young Avengers. They did like a Dark Reign 6-issue series. This is the only Young Avengers Presents. This is number 6. I don't have the Young Avengers Presents. I don't have all of them. But yeah, that one I really wanted. Dude, these have been getting better and better and better. Oh, that's another one I don't have. Oh my God, I'm so psyched. Thank you so much, JT, Poor Man's Comics. Look at that one. Boom. And that one is, I don't know if that was an incentive. I mean, I don't care. I'm just trying to give information. But that one, yeah. It's also one of my favorite covers. That's like probably, other than the Black Widow smoking gun, this is like the favorite cover that I don't have. So yeah, that is gorgeous. Both of her Gamora covers, she has a Guardians. This is Guardians. Then she actually has one for one of the Gamora books. She uses this green, which they should for Gamora, but it's just like it's a color she doesn't use that often. It comes off really, really well. So I'm super, super psyched for that. So this is funny, only because it's one of my absolute favorite covers. Absolute favorite. Yeah, I'll go away. Absolute favorite books. Pretty Deadly. This will actually go. I'll probably give this to Kelly Sue. I give her books at Rose City each year to give away to kids and teenagers. I have about 6 copies of this, so I appreciate more copies. It's an absolutely fabulous book. The artwork by Emma Rios. I mean, you see this and you want to turn it like this until you read the names and you realize, oh, it actually goes like this. It's just really, really cool. Great read. So Pretty Deadly. She came out with 2 arcs, when issues 1 through 6 and 7 through 12. The next one has been so long since solicitations. It's called Pretty Deadly the Rat. If you want a good read, it borders heavily on mythology through different time periods, the mythology of death and fate, told through the lens of a bunny rabbit and a butterfly, who are like the narrators. And there's Death Face Ginny and the Fox and lots of great characters. Beautiful art. I highly suggest you go to your LCS and say, hey, I want to try issue 1 of Pretty Deadly the Rat. So if they've got Pretty Deadly, it's a different Diamond distributor code for the new series, even though it's technically a continuation. This is another one. Oh my God. 2 I don't have. Oh, I'm so psyched. Electric Sublime. This is one of the ones, because it's IDW, it's just really hard to find. This is another Hans cover. Sweet. So he helped me knock off 4 of my Hans covers. I'm so excited. Oh, it's so cool. It says on the back, our art's sick. It's no wonder people are going crazy. I don't know what that is about. I don't even know what Electric Sublime is about, but that is the Hans cover. So I got some new good books to read and definitely some Hans pickups. Oh, I'm so psyched. Okay, this is the second to last book, so I'm closing my eyes so I don't see the last book. This is another cover I do not have. I've been looking for this one for a while. This is just her series of, I don't know if these are just B covers. I don't think these are the variants, but look at Groot in this one. Right? I don't know, and normally I wouldn't pick this up if it wasn't a Hans cover, because I hate, right? It's a Magneto book. Where's Magneto? Right? It's the Guardians. It's the Guardians variant. I hate when they do that, right? Put characters on the cover that are connected to the story in the book. All right, last one. I don't know if he saved the best for last, so it could just be anticlimactic the way I'm trying not to look at it. But let's see. Oh, it's the last one, and that, I believe, I got to double check. I think that's the one I don't have, is number 5, which is also one of my favorites. So my lordy, ladies and gentlemen, a big thank you to Poor Man's Comics for mass hooking it up with great comics, great image number 1s, and some absolutely fabulous Hans covers, especially some fabulous, at least 5 of these, because I've got a lot, at least 5 of these I don't have, which is just amazing. And oh my God, that freaking Young Avengers Presents. So this is a freaking good haul here. I'm just trying to put this in a little perspective for you all. So first of all, that Tanya Harding book, bam. Let's go through this from start to finish again. Yeah, they do huggably, and whatever. So we started off with a little parody issue, Whacked. We go to X-Man #1, Secret Wars, Secret Love, with a story I guess kind of throwback teenage romance cover. Kamala Khan on the front. Little image #1, Alex and Ada. Little image #1, Tooth and Claw. Little image #1, Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly. Yeah, definitely shout out Poor Man's Comics. And then this was the surprise of the bunch that I'm super psyched for. The Kitchen #1. Dark Reign, The New Avengers, 49. Young Avengers Presents #6, which I'm also so psyched for, man. That's just a great cover. And then we start with the Hans books, right? I already have this one. This is Relax. This is issue 1, the regular. There's like a variant to this with just different colors. Then there's a free comic book day one. So I'm on the lookout for those. This Max Ride I did not have. Dollhouse, I think I had that. But then look at this. I did not have either of the Guardians of Galaxy variants, including one I did not know existed. This freaking gorgeous one. This Electric Sublime, which I did not have. And this Magneto, which I did not have. So mega happy. Obviously, Poor Man's Comics and I are really like those YouTube friends I've never met. He knows my collecting style. He knows my my loves in terms of what I like and what I'm into. And he did an amazing job. So thank you so much, Poor Man's Comics. I really appreciate it. This is that little obligatory, if you haven't subbed him up yet, and I'm sure everybody here has, Poor Man's Comics on YouTube, Poor Man's Comics on Instagram. Man is a massive Adam Hughes fan. It's his love of Adam Hughes that kind of propelled me to say, hey, I love Stephanie Hans. I'm going to try to collect every Stephanie Hans cover. Once I do the cover, I might go back and get every Stephanie Hans book. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but it's definitely a possibility. So sub them up, sub each other up. Thanks for spending the afternoon with me, listening to me talk about, whine about how hard my life is because I have to work 3 days this week, even though it's summer vacation for a teacher. Hopefully I'll be on YouTube doing a lot of videos next week because that's the last week before school starts. And then I'll be back to fit it in when you can. All right, man. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much to the chat. I guess this is a time to say I will be. Oh, JP, man, I got to shout you out. Check out his Black Widow video. JP does great series, man. He's got his Saturday morning, 9 a.m. drops every week series where he compares the you are late, but I'll do a quick rundown in a minute. He compares all the comics from 6 months ago that were on the CBSI top 10 list to how they're doing now. And we learn a lot about not to chase the hot cover of the moment, that a key for an established character is usually going to last better than an optioned property, which really means nothing other than you're taking a chance on something that may get made. Option doesn't mean it's getting made. And then even if it's made, it may be a flop. So you're really taking those chances. You learn a lot from watching his show. And he's got this new show called Something Collects. And he just goes through hot property and shows all the keys and cool covers for that property and advise you on collecting. So I just watched that Black Widow one, which was amazing. So sub him up if you haven't subbed him up before. But yeah, like I was saying, I'll be back to my regular schedule. I'll fit in videos when I can. I'm not going to promise anything. I tried to do my pick of the week last year. That lasted from January through May. But we'll see. Comics are always going to be about, and I'm always going to get comics. So JP, just run this down super quick. I got this Whacked parody issue. Oh, I know what I was going to say before everybody leaves. September 3rd, I'm on the New York Warriors auction. I feel like I've made it big time. Biggie's gave me the thumbs up, and we can do it September 3rd. So not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, September 3rd. I got some big boy books. I got some smaller key lots. It's going to be a lot of fun hanging out with those guys. That will be super cool. So definitely check out the New York Warriors Tuesday. I don't want to mess this up. I believe they start 9:30 or 9 p.m. East Coast time and Eastern Standard Time. And that would be 6 p.m. West Coast time. I better double check before I screw up my premiere on the New York Warriors. Anyway, I got this whacked parody. It is. I feel like I'm called up. I'm no longer at the minor leagues. X-Man #1, Secret Wars, Secret Love, Alex and Ada #1, Tooth and Claw #1, Pretty Deadly #1, The Kitchen #1, which I'm super psyched about. Dark Reign New Avengers #49, Young Avengers Presents #6, the beautiful. And why is this? I just wanted it because it's an amazing cover for an amazing character from an amazing team. But is this the first time she partners with Hawkeye? It's not the first time she uses the name Hawkeye. That's #12. I think it's the first time they partner up together. That's why Fraction wrote it, because he was in this middle of this Hawkeye run. Then the Hans coming. A Hans I have. A Hans I don't have. A Hans I have. A Hans I didn't know that I didn't have because I didn't know it was there, and I'm super psyched to have it. One of the most amazing Hanses ever, and I'm glad I got it because I didn't have it. Another Hans I didn't have, and another Hans I didn't have. So super psyched. Super thank you. I'm going to say goodbye now before somebody else drops in, and I feel like I have to say hi to them. Thumbs up to everybody. Like and subscribe each other. Make good shows when you get the chance. Watch each other's shows and keep those bargains in those comics and share them with each other, because if we can't afford them, we can at least enjoy you affording them. Take care, everyone. There are still Hans I don't have. There's about 10 covers I don't have. One of them is the $200. I left a comment on your Black Widow. The other Black Widow variant she did goes for like 200 raw. It's the smoking gun variant. That's impossible to find. There's one on eBay right now. So yeah, that's the big one. And then it's just little bits and pieces, a couple $40 and a couple easy ones that go for like $1 or something. Just I haven't got around. I want to find somebody that sells them all together so I don't have to pay like shipping 8 times. But we'll get there, man, and then we'll have a mega video. All right, guys, signing off. Thank you so much. Take care.